Hiya ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today we're going to be covering the SERENITEA pot / housing in an advanced-ish kind of way. Now, I will warn you, there's some stuff that's going to infuriate you if you went into this with a kind of a misconception. As well as we're going to be going over how you essentially progress in a rapid way, and why you should do it now. Essentially, this is everything that you should know, or that I wish I would have known when leveling up my SERENITEA pot. So let's go over the basics really fast. Okay, so I'm assuming you've gotten your SERENITEA pot, you've entered into it, you've gotten to, I think it's AR 40 something, or 35 maybe, and you have to do enough story to actually unlock a quest for the old granny that will take you on a quest with Yenfi, and you probably have done that. I've made a video on the channel, basically how you get it, and it's there if you want that. Okay, so the basics of the SERENITEA pot work like this. Your main objective when you first get your SERENITEA pot is two things. To gain trust rank, and to start accruing as much Adeptus energy as you possibly can. So, how do you unlock trust rank? Well, it's quite simple. You essentially need to unlock blueprints and then create said blueprints. Alright, so how you get blueprints is pretty simple. You just go into the Realm Depot. But before you can afford blueprints, you need to start accruing realm currency, which is that silver thing in the top right corner. How you do this is by increasing the density of your world. How do you do that? You just place items. So every single time you place an item, whether it be blue, purple, or green, blue, or purple, that is involved in the realm's currency. So if you put down purple tier items, so if we go to blueprints, I don't have any more left. But if you started placing down purple tier items, it's going to start accruing greater sums of Adeptus energy. Now be careful, because there's something in the game called load order, which we're going to get into, but you guys can see that purple items cost a lot more, and you're going to want to aim for the ones that have less detail, at least when you're just starting, so that you can start accruing the maximum amount of stuff, so that you can start buying the thing that's been eye candy for you for a long time, which is this right here, all of the fantastic rewards that you can see right in front of you. Let's answer the original question. How do you level up your tubby, your trust rank? You essentially just need to go down here and buy as many blueprints as you can, and this is the kind of annoying part, but as soon as you buy a blueprint, you're going to want to go into your inventory, go over to the housing little sack, and there are going to be these little tiny scrolls, and you'll just click it, learn it, and now you can create it. So you need to buy a blueprint, read the blueprints, and then make the blueprints, and then you should always place it, whatever you make, in the world. The reason why is because everything that you place in the world will start accruing Adeptus energy. Now, one of the things that's really important, and now we're going to start branching off into like how you actually should keep some things in mind, and what you should dedicate at least 1 or 2 spaces to doing. You should start dedicating spaces for items that are purple tier rarity, and are low load order items. So what does that mean? So essentially, every single time you place an item in the world, there's a thing that is load order. So if you're playing on mobile or anything like that, you can't place too many things because it will basically start demanding too much processing power, and it'll start lagging the shit out of your thing and make your phone overheat or make your console not in a good place, all that stuff. So what you can do to get around this is to start placing high value currency things. So, and you guys can see right there, each thing kind of has different values, but a lot of the time, things that have a very high value, like for instance, this has a 90% cost or whatever, like 90% generation for your realm, but it's also usually pretty costly in terms of the load order. So if we go to something a lot less, or a lot more basic, if we go to land, this is considered a a green tier rarity. So we got green, blue, and then purple. Greens have very low load order, but they also have very low realm generation, so you don't want that. So you want to find something that doesn't tax your system, but also gives you a shit ton of realm currency, so that you can start generating more currency. Think of this as like an economy. Every single time you place something down, you're recruiting more coins. They're like resource farmers, basically. So the way that the community's typically done this is with this right here. We have the statue garden, and we have the server room. The server room, I would say, is probably the most beneficial. In my opinion, it can just generate a crazy amount of realm currency. Now, well, we will get into something in a bit. The max threshold for your realm currency gain is 20,000 specifically. If you go beyond 20,000, you're not going to get any more currency out of it. So you only need to do this to a point in which you can do this. So you only need a couple rooms to be these weird server rooms, and every other room in your house can be as pretty and as wonderful as you possibly can. This has 4,000 realm currency in it. And it looks like a weirdo server room, or a Bitcoin farmer. Weird nonsense. I digress. But this is essentially what you're going to do, is you're going to make a ton of these kinds of curtains. And you're just going to place them back to back to back, and you're going to basically destroy one room, but you're also going to gain a crazy amount of realm regeneration for it, which basically gets you a crazy amount of currency. And you still have all the other rooms in your house that you can decorate that probably will add up to you getting to 20. So I've made most of the other rooms pretty, as much as the load order will allow me, which is going to get increased to 1.6. Kind of irrelevant, just to make it, you may have more load order to mess around with when you inevitably get into the housing system. So with all the stuff we just talked about, with the load order, with the Adeptus gain by placing certain high level resources in your world, you're going to want to try to find, and I'm pretty sure you can buy it from the store even, those statues. And if it's not acquired that way, it's probably acquired this way, which is pretty simple as well. Okay, yeah, so sorry. The special statues that you attain are gained when you reach round 3 of this special event, which requires you to place 3 different furnishing sets, or obtain 5,000 realm currency, which you're going to be able to instantly do. So yeah, I'm not really worried about you guys not getting that one. So just progress as you are, just by, again, playing the basics of this event, or of this kind of system, which is place all your items in the world, wait for it to accrue realm currency, spend the realm currency back into blueprints, make said blueprints, spew out those things in your realm, and start accruing more until you get access to things like the statues, and I believe the curtains you can actually buy outright. In fact, that's maybe how I actually got them in the first place. It was like really wicked. No, okay, so yeah, you get your curtain, your like powering server essentially, from the very first page of your thing, which requires you to obtain 100 realm currency, which is super easy. In fact, you're getting a lot from just doing this. So yeah, you look at me not. Can we not be talking all weird and seductively in my ear, please? Thank you. So yes, that's the basics of what you should do. A, B to C. A, just start accruing as much realm currency as you possibly can. You're probably just going to be placing down everything you have and waiting it to accrue. You can also make it look nice if you want. But there is one thing that should also suck up all of your realm currency first. So before you buy blueprints, first of all, you should log in, get as much realm currency as you have, and pocket it. Because, by the way, the reason why you want to continuously level up your trust rank is because not only at trust rank 8, I believe, you get access to the special realm items. I think it's 8, but I could be wrong. It could be 7. Regardless, it'll tell you what realm or trust rank you need to get in order to even be able to purchase your high level resources in the Realm Teapot's depot. But yeah, but again, when you eventually surpass that, the reason why you want to continue to level up your realm is not only because it's incredibly easy, because you're starting to accrue so much Adeptus energy at that point, or realm currency, that you can basically just buy up all the blueprints and like buy half the blueprints in one day because you're accruing so much realm money. But also, it will gain you a bigger pot, so that you don't need to worry if you happen to not be able to play the game for a couple days. Your thing will constantly keep filling. Your realm will constantly keep generating money, and you won't get back and it be maxed out at 2,000. It'll be maxed out at 2,020 and then 2,400. So yeah, that's why you want to keep leveling up your thing, as well as you get primo gems and all the stuff that you also want. But again, a little off track. One of the things, the main thing you're going to want to do after you've taken out your money is go to your realm depot and then check furnishing. This is one of the most valuable things on the planet because it can supercharge your progression, because one of the biggest limiting factors to your realm is the crafting time. And this can supercharge your progression immensely. And also, this resets every, I think it's like 20 or 2 days. Every 2 days or so, this thing resets its stock, and you can buy another 5 of those instant craft things. So what I would highly advise you doing is just do what you would do normally. First things first, buy all those. That's easy. Second thing, go over here and buy whatever kind of blueprints you want. I usually go for purples first, just because they give you a crazy amount of trust rank for learning them. which is great. Learn them, create them, throw them someplace in the world. You can make it look cute and wonderful if you want. You will unlock subsequent realms, so you can kind of turn your first realm into just kind of like a glorified storage house, and then your subsequent realm into your pretty, lovely, wonderful thing. In fact, I'm going to do that, by the way. I'm just going to spend all my money on special furnishings. Give me all of it until I can't. There we go. So we're maxed out. So now that you purchase your blueprints, you're going to want to go in here and learn all of them. Always make sure you do that, or else you'll jump back and forth in menus, and it's a nightmare. I just did it. Don't look at me. Anyways. So then you would go into create, and it would tell you how many special realm vials you have. Now, if you get in the habit of doing this, you're just going to accrue a ton anyway. But this can basically instantly give you trust rank and instantly give you higher potential for gaining realm currency. So you're generating more coins, which allows you to buy more blueprints, which allows you to feed the system and the beast that's going to give you the realm things. Up to a point. We'll get into the little rants in a hot minute. But anyways, essentially you would just come over here and collect the things that you've got cooking if it's a brand new day, and you would just jump over here and craft everything that you possibly can. Where is the rest? We got a nice little thing there, we got this thing, and then finally we got some things that we can't actually craft yet. Now, I would highly advise that when you start to craft these things, try to not spend your instant craft thing on random items. I would highly advise, in fact, I probably shouldn't spend as many as I did on these items. I would highly advise instead going to, I don't know, the curtains and getting like 5 or 10 of these to be created. I, of course, ran out of money, but I could also go and make some statues. I think I have a lot for that, yeah. And statues are also really cheap. They're iron, which you can just farm an abundance of. So I would get all of those cooking, and then I would use my instant craft things for those. Why would I do that? Because these are low load, high value things to place in the world, which will accrue. Basically, think of these as like sources. These are things that's going to be generating you a lot of realm currency, so that you can buy more things in the shop, more blueprints, that you can hyper focus your progression. Also, you can cancel just about any of these if you don't want to do that. So yeah. No worries there. I don't, because it's, it's a waste. I already have all those things. So my friends, that is essentially how you should progress in this kind of endeavor. Again, main point being, one of the things that changed the game, and it's also not particularly ugly, but it's doing like a kind of a weird statue garden, which is essentially just a shit ton of load order, or a realm currency with low load order, which allows you to accrue a crazy amount of that stuff. And you have crazy profit tied to it as well, which is just great. Now, I will point out something that I think is a big misconception. It's what I misunderstood when I was doing my whole realm weird business. In fact, give me that as well. That's more blueprints. Love to see it. So eventually, as you progress, you will eventually get the opportunity to switch your realm. Now, I was under the conception of, okay, I get why the realm depot costs so much realm currency. It's because it basically becomes this times 10 with 3 different economies. So I can dedicate my first island, and when I get to 20,000, I'll be gaining a shit ton of realm coins. And then when I get to my next thing, I'll have to build it all the way back up from the bottom. But if I do that as well, then I start accruing even more coins, and then I can buy even more stuff from the shop, maybe even 60% at that point. And then when I get access to my last island, I'll build that one all the way up to from 0 to 100. And this is something I could chip away at through the course of a long time playing Genshin, and at the end of my journey, my yield would be consistent energy gain and more coins to spend, and basically being able to buy up the realm depot. This could take 3 months, but it's something that if I'm going to be playing this game for a long time, that's my reward. And my reward is experience books, which you can get 1,000 different ways, artifact experience, which you can get 1,000 different ways, and Mora, which you can also get 1,000 different ways, and fragmented resin. That's kind of more special, but that would be your reward. But instead, it doesn't work that way at all. One thing is true, and that is when you eventually get to 200%, you are maxed out for all possible accounts on how much realm currency you can make in a week. 4,500, I believe, is the amount of realm currency you can get within 1 week's worth of not spending anything, which you can only hold 240, so make sure you cash in. But that is nowhere near the amount you are required to buy all of the things in your shop. So, instead what happens, by the way, when you unlock a new realm, you switch to that realm, you essentially have all of the items that you made in the previous realm brought over to this new realm. So you're only paying for a new environment. You're not paying for a new economy to kind of build back up all the way to the top so that you can buy and spend all of your coins in the realm depot. Which to me is just sad, because to me that would be so much more fun and actually would reward people. Instead, we can invest only a certain amount, and we can only gain a certain amount from it. We're not able to buy or even clear out most of these things. This will burn you out so fast, and it doesn't even give you that much artifact experience. But this will cook the ever-living shit out of your realm currency. And then this is same thing, and yeah. So that to me is the thing that broke my heart about the whole realm currency, which is what I wanted to talk to you guys about at the end. For people who are thinking like, oh, I should really try to get to the end as soon as possible. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a value to it, but man, not much. And I think it's a damn shame, because this could have been something that was a very, very good key to a problem that many people had within Genshin, which is the idea of, I don't have enough experience books to level up my new characters. I don't have enough, I hate farming artifacts, and I can't even level up most of them. What do you call it? I don't have enough money or mora in the game. And this was a way for people who consistently played the game to benefit greatly and basically fix those problems. But they capped it. They capped it, and you can only get a couple, I think it's like 2 or 3 stacks of one of these things. So you can maybe get max a hero wit, maybe you can get max mora, not anything that's true, but you can get like some of these with a whole week's worth of resin, essentially, or not resin, sorry, worth of a realm currency. It just kind of sucks ass. Simply put, it sucks ass. But the weird thing is it like, I'm not sure if like it seemed like a last minute change, because if we look at actually like the trust rank and we go to our Adeptus power gain, if I go to, you guys can see both of my islands here. In total, I'm generating 40,000 realm points, realm currency, but yet I'm not, because it's capped at 20. I'm at fit for a king right now, but I'm really hoping that they could fix this. All they would have to do is increase fit for a king by another 10, and maybe, or no, by another 20. So that way you'd have to get, well, you should have to do a little more. But anyways, the point being is that you could utilize both realms, or all realms, to facilitate you gaining currency, and it would give you more of a window to keep playing and keep grinding. So if you did participate in spending the time to invest in your housing, you would gain a great deal out of it. But unfortunately, right now as it stands, you only need to get one of your realm up to 20,000 Adeptus points, and then you're done. And also there's a massive incentive just shitting on the first realm, because that will gain you maximum Adeptus energy, and then you can just move on to your second realm and make that one look pretty, you know? Or even just swap them. If you happen to pick the one realm that you actually like the look of the most, you could just swap the things. You could put all the server rooms in that one realm and take care of it, you know? So I think it's a shame. I think this could have been so much more, and instead they capped it, which I think, you're not offering things that are insane. You're offering experience books, which would only facilitate people leveling up the characters and playing more of your game and playing with the new characters and have reasons for why they could play with new characters. So it just seems like it's an understate, and I really hope they fix it within the future. Of just saying, okay, by the way, we're buffing your Adeptus gain through each thing, or maybe they're giving you the option of restarting a brand new economy in one of them, but you're losing out on previous items that you spent so much time crafting. I would have been fine with that. I could have always taken the items and then moved to my new realm and then placed them there if I wanted to. So I don't know. I find this to be a little frustrating, and I thought this is something that I wish I would have known, because it basically would have made me just quickly, as fast as I possibly can, get to the point in which I can start generating currency so that I can start buying them, because that's the only kind of mathematic sense that this makes, that you want to get to 20 energy gain as soon as you possibly can, because it's no longer about building up your economy to be good enough to buy everything in the shop. It's about building up your economy to buy as quick as you possibly can, so that every week you basically are making proper ground. And it does punish anyone who doesn't get there fast enough, which to me is just kind of a damn shame. But ladies and gentlemen, that was me covering the kind of intricacies of leveling everything. I'm on the brink of being able to get to max trust rank, which is not a lot. I'm pretty excited for Tubby getting a cool new skin, kinda. But yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think. Again, I really hope luckily this is something they could fix within future patches, by just being like, hey, by the way, we're allowing you to restart one of your worlds and make it a source, not a continuation. Meaning you could gain more Adeptus energy, or even just giving them the player the option to go beyond Fit for a King. Although that would, you could basically just get to pass Fit for a King really fast because your items are carried over in a weird way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. This is one of those things where I really wanted to make this video because there's so many things you should learn. Again, to buy those vials is the biggest one, to make sure you're constantly buying the vials and buying blueprints and keeping that train going, because eventually you'll get to a state of 20,000, which is a state of abundance in which you can start buying a sliver of the Realm Depot shop, which is madness because it's not even selling great things, but it's still stuff that can help your progression. But I digress. It's a damn shame. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully in the future they patch it to where you can actually just create more sources and not have to basically just have a limited amount of Adeptus coins, because it kind of makes it seem like everything's in this game is capped, and even though it takes a long ass time to get your teapot fully operating, it doesn't yield as much as you'd probably like. I think it's a damn shame, but I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe buttons to my right, as well as 2 videos further that way. Thank you once again. We have much more content coming of Genshin. I cannot wait to get a critical crown for Eula so I can start showcasing some awesome gameplay with her, but I digress. Also, we'll be covering upcoming events, as always. Thank you for your time. Hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully this helped. Bye.